All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. It is May 6th, 2022, 5:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in today's content, I will talk about BTC and Ethereum on a macro view, and what type of price action we could anticipate over the next like a few weeks or even months. So it is not a day trade setups. It is not a day trade analysis. So what we're going to be talking about, it is not based on BTC pumping 2%, 3% and all that good stuff and dumping 5%, 10% and all that good stuff. We're talking about like some macro analysis. Okay, so stay tuned, relax, and spank that likes, join our public Telegram group, link in the description. We got some bears, some bulls, some neutral people and all that good stuff, right? Some neutral traders. So you can definitely enjoy the Telegram group, right? And let's go ahead and take a look at the chat room to make sure the sound is good. So if the sound is good, just put in 589 so I know, because I can hear you guys, right? 589. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot. So whenever the sound is good, just put 589 so I won't have to ask. Okay. All right, guys. So make sure to check the poll, right? Are we doomed or we're ready to moon, right? Make sure to vote, right? So Hamza in the house, Johnson in the house, thanks a lot for tuning in. John Doe in the house, Quiet Cook cooking some ether in the kitchen in the house, Sherry in the house, Hamza, Mr. Shu, ICX in the house, Omni Black, I love you too, man. I mean, all right. So now let's go ahead and dive into the analysis for BTC. So guys, I just have to repeat myself because I don't know how many of you guys new to our content, and we just have to repeat exactly what we've been saying over the last 4 to 5 months since December. Okay, so we've been spot on the macro view. We said, guys, we're going to be dumping down to our weekly 21, right? And we're most likely going to move sideways anywhere between 3 to 6 months, right? Where did we get that 3 to 6 month time frame from? Okay, so let me just quiz you. Okay, I know if you're Leroy, you probably forgot a long time ago, right? So right here we got it from here, okay, and there, okay, and even back to back in 2014, it took like a 5 to 6 months. Okay, if you take a look at it on the BLX chart, right? So we already got our 4 month of sideways correction. Most likely we will get a decision time, right, within the next like a month or two, right? Because I don't think that we will stay above the monthly 21 EMA for like a 6 month, 7 month, 8 month. Okay, maximum 6 months. We already got 5 months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? May is the 5th month, right? So, and price action is dipping below the monthly 21 EMA in general. Okay, you got other ways of looking at it, but I think the monthly time frame is cleaner. You could look at it on the 3D. We will talk about the 3D depth cross, right? But if you take a look at it on a monthly basis, it's clean enough. Okay, you see like what happened right here. We got 50% drop, 45 to 50% drop. Right here, similarly, we got 45 to 50% drop, and right here we also got a 45 to 50% drop. Okay, that was the drop below the monthly 21 EMA. Okay, so what can we expect? Okay, so if BTC been doing it like for the past let's say 7-10 years, right, could it do it again? Possibly. Okay, possibly, right? So if it continues to dump below the monthly 21 EMA, the easiest way to look at it is like, okay, we could get our directional move, right, all the way down to our quarterly 21 EMA. The quarterly 21 EMA going to be somewhere around like a 23k right now. It is at 23k. So I know it is not going to be 50%, but there is no need to be greedy, right? Because the reason for that is like we never closed below the quarterly 21, even though previously we've been dropping like 50% below the monthly 21, but price action never closed below the quarterly 21. That's what I'm saying. you know, if you're looking for lower prices, you can get it if you're looking for like a, you know, short-term trade. But if you're a macro trader, you're looking for BTC to you're looking to buy BTC somewhere around here and looking to sell at 150, 180, 250, 300k and all that good stuff. You don't care about like, you know, 23k and 20k and all that good stuff. All right, so that's my own personal opinion, right? The quarterly 21 EMA going to be the most important EMA over the next like a few quarters, right? Because if you take a look at it on the BLX, that's where we bottomed at. Okay, and if you remember back in 2018, right, early 2019, right, most bears were calling for $1,000 and they did not pay attention to the higher time frame. Right here, if you take a look at the quarterly 21, even if you extrapolate it, right, you can see that we did not break below it. Okay, yes, we did not have enough data, but you can basically you know, just draw an imaginary line somewhere around here. You can see that we did not break below it. So since like we've been expecting in terms of percentage, okay, we've been expecting, let's say you know, let's say 50% drop below the monthly 21, 50% drop below the monthly 21, right, 50% drop below the monthly 21, but none of those 50% dropped, right, close a quarterly candle or even a monthly candle, right, below the quarterly 21. So that's why it is so important, right, to say, hey, you know, we can drop lower, right, but I'm not going to be looking for anything below like, you know, 23 or 20k. Like, you know, some bears are looking for like a 10k, like the Mr. 10k bear, right, still looking for 10k, but he, you know, he might get it like in 10,000 years from now, 10,000 years from now, right? Something to basically just you know, something you want to keep in mind. I don't think like BTC will retest those lows. Okay, if I'm wrong, I mean, you know, if I'm wrong, I just suck it up and buy it cheaper. Okay, that's the worst case scenario, right? But the quarterly 21 could be you know, could be the lowest price level we could be anticipating over the next like a few quarters, and we will decide if it will reverse to the upside and complete our next wave to the upside all the way up to 180 to you know, 250 area. Okay, so now let's go back to the lower degree, right? So we're done with the quarterly time frame and the monthly time frame. So now let's take a look at BTC on a 3 weeks basis. So if we take a look at BTC on a 3 weeks time frame, right, you guys recall what I said back then, back in January. I said exactly, guys, the you know, the 21 EMA, right, on our the 21 EMA on a quarterly basis, right, not quarterly but the 3 weeks time frame, right, will give us a tough time over the next like a few months. Remember, we've been expecting what, BTC to move sideways, right, to move sideways, right, for like a 3 to 5 months, right? But you got to get your resistance. If you're moving sideways, let's say you dump to the downside, if you're moving sideways, right, you're going to create support and resistance, right? So we said we're just going to define our resistance, right, being like a 43 to 46 and support 35 to 33. That's exactly what we've been doing over the last few months. Okay, don't buy above 43, 46, right, and just don't short at, you know, let's say 35 to 34, because BTC can still pump to the upside again. We will talk about that scenario, right, once you know, once we talk about all the bearish share setup and all that good stuff. Okay, so on a 3 weeks basis, our resistance, you know, main resistance, right, it is the 3 weeks 21 EMA. Okay, as you can see right here, back in June, July, May, June, July 20 or 21, what we said right here, if you've been following our channel, we said buy the dips right here. Right here, what we've been saying, we're saying the opposite: sell the tops, sell the top. Don't buy above 43. Can it go there? Yes, but it is just for a sideways correction. You're not looking for like a 60k, 70k and all that good stuff. What you're supposed to be looking for is like a retest of 33, 34. If it breaks it, we dump down to our 30k. If it breaks it, we go back down to, you know, to our monthly 50, or even if you want to take a look at it on a 3 weeks basis, right, the 100 EMA, it is at 21.5, just about like a 22k area. Okay, so the low 20s, right, mid 20s, it is the next, you know, few few you know, it is the next like a few months of price level we could be looking for, okay, if we dump below our you know, 30k support right here, okay, if we dump below our 30k support, okay. So if you've been following our channel, right, you know the only two prices we should be paying attention to the downside, it is 30k, right, 30k average, right, ugly handwriting, but I'm pretty sure you can read it, right, and basically monthly 21, monthly 50 actually, okay. These are the only two prices, right, we should be paying attention to. If you're very greedy, you can wait for the quarterly 21. If you really greedy, right, you wait for 10k, you know, 10,000 years from now, okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on weekly time frame, okay. So the weekly time frame, it is not looking good at all, okay. It is not looking good. It is not looking good at all, right. So what we're getting right now is like, you know, we got a negative crossover again, okay, on our weekly basis. At the same time, we got a rejection from our weekly 21 EMA, okay, and at the same time we're breaking out below our weekly 100 EMA. Remember right here what we said, our directional move when BTC got rejected right here, 52.7, what we said, 51.7, what we said, our directional move all the way down to the weekly 100 EMA slash monthly 21 EMA, right? It is the same thing, okay. So now after we dump back down right here, we said do not short it below the weekly 100 EMA. I was clear, don't short BTC below 35, 34, and still now, okay, I'm saying don't short it below the 100 EMA. Don't short it, okay, because you know, on the macro view the direction is down, but on the low degree we will talk about not even on the low degree but weekly time frame, right, we will talk about the potential pushback up to the upside if we don't have enough selling pressure to you know, break cleanly the weekly 100 EMA. Don't get me wrong, the directions, it is still down, okay, but I just, you know, we just have to cover ourselves for the upside moves, okay. So we're breaking out below the weekly 100 EMA. That's not good. If we want to add our weekly 200 EMA, I don't know why the 200 is not showing up. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, the 200 is not showing up. Let's check it right here. That's a macro layout. All right, so let's go back to BTC before we talk about Ether. Okay, so since like we're breaking out below our weekly 100 EMA, we could be paying attention to, right, at the same time on the weekly basis, the weekly 200 EMA, it is at 22k give or take, okay. As of now it is at 21.8 if you're looking for exact number, but I'm just gonna round it up, okay, for Leroy, you know, 22k, okay. So you take a look at the weekly 200 EMA right here. If you guys remember back in 2018, right, bears were saying what, we're dropping down to $1,000, okay. They did not pay attention right here, okay. Right here we got a support right there and bounce back up all the way up to 69k. So if we dump down to these areas, right, could we get a wick below it, like, you know, retesting like 20k, 19k, whatever? Yes, but we don't want to see a monthly close right below this range, okay. We don't want to see a monthly close below this range of you know, 20k area, okay. So something to basically keep in mind, okay. So now let's take a look at BTC in terms of bullishness, okay. In terms of bullishness, all right, we already got a three-way move right here, okay, and another move down. Could we get another move to the upside? Yes, we can still get another move to the upside, right, and get it as a, you know, W right there, create a W, X, and Y correction, right, before continuing down, right, to the weekly, 200 MA. That's possible. Okay, but as of now, I just don't see any sort of like an indication, right, of a potential push to the upside, because all our indicators are are pointing down, right? So even though we got a possible WXY pushing back up to like a 48 in terms of indicators, right, there is no sign of a reversal yet. Could we get one next week, the week after next, right, whatever, we could, but as of now, right, I don't see it going back up to a 48. But if we do get a potential move back up, we just going to flip our bias in the short to medium term and say, hey guys, we could get the flat correction right here. Okay, on a monthly basis, it looks better on a monthly basis, right? As you can see right here, we got a dump, right? That's our A, B, right there, but the B wave could do something like that. Okay, meaning like BTC could be in this range for the next like a few months, between 48 down to 34, retest of the 33, 34, and push back up to like a 47, 48. But it is going to be on a monthly basis. So basically BTC for May, June, right, it could dump down to a 33, whatever, right, or even retest like a 31, whatever, right, but going to be pushing back up. Okay, so if we could get a an expanded or running flat, something like that. You see how what we're doing on the monthly? If you recall, like back in June, right, we talked about like the possibility of BTC going back up to retest the top and retest the bottom, right? You see this pattern right here, right? It could repeat the same pattern internally, like that, break the top right here, break the bottom right there, and still go back down to break the top. Okay, so but you can only see it like on a monthly basis, because if you only focus on like the on the weekly or like the daily, you're not going to be able to see it. And if we pump back up, right, you're going to be going bull. Okay, like we're going to 100k, 200k, and all that good stuff. Could it be the bottom? Yes, but we just have to keep an eye on it. So pay attention to it. We don't have enough evidences yet it will be going back up to 48, but if we do, we will basically react and flip bull, right, and go with the bulls, and push the price back up to a 48, 49k, depending on the volatility. Okay, not looking for an exact number. If it does, right, we just saying like resistance right here. Okay, so that's going to basically make us be very cautious shorting BTC below 35k. Okay, as I said it in my premium group, and I said, guys, we broke out below 40k, right? After we broke out below 40k right here, that's when we went bear, right? And I said just a few days ago, don't short BTC below 35. No need to be adding anything below 35, 34. Okay, if we hit like let's say low 30s, right, take profits, right, and just adjust stop loss somewhere around like a 43 or break even, whatever, right, and just let the market drip until we get a reversal pattern. Okay, but no need to be greedy shorting like 35, 34, and all that good stuff. All right, just have to sit tight, relax, and enjoy the ride. So now let's talk about BTC in terms of 3D time frame. Okay, so the 3D depth cross, I know most of you guys waiting for the 50. That's my blue line. Let's take the 50 right here, the 50 MA, and remove the EMA. So I know most of you guys are waiting for the complete depth cross, but remember these depth crosses, right, they happen before the before the move. I mean, they happen after the move. Okay, so but to anticipate it, right, you could use your 21 EMA, right? If the 21 EMA starts to cross the 200 MA, right, it means that you're going to get a an early warning, okay, of a potential depth cross your 50 crossing your 200 MA. A good example is like what happened right here back in 2018, right there. You see the depth cross, right, based on the 21 EMA. I know depth cross is 50 over 200, but I'm just trying to give you guys a heads up, okay, so you can know exactly what's going on and not try to short it after the your 50 crosses your 200. Okay, you can see right here we crossed the 200 MA, right? The 21 crossed the 200 MA around like the 28th of October, right? And you can see like nearly 3 weeks later, that's when we get the regular depth cross, 50 crossing the 200 MA. I'm not saying it will be the same, right? But you just want to pay attention to it. Okay, so right now we're crossing the 200 MA. It is May 6th, right? So we could say like, okay, if we get the same sort of volatility, right, the 50 could cross the 200 MA sometime in late May, 3 weeks from now. Okay, and most people are going to be bearish right here, and BTC might be making a wedge pattern and going to be giving us the reversal to the upside. All right, that reversal might not be a macro reversal, but we will discuss it. I don't think once we hit the quarterly 21, monthly 50, whatever, wherever we get our bottom at, right, I don't think that move going to be the initial reversal we will be looking for. Okay, it can still retest it later on depending on the timing before pushing to the upside. Okay, but we will discuss it after, if we retest those areas, right, and get the pump we're looking for over the next like a few months, right? So so now let's take a look at BTC on the hourly. I'm gonna skip the daily, right? So the hourly, it is quite interesting. The reason for that is like, we are making a short-term bull divergence right here, right? For the short-term traders, right? We do have a short-term bull divergence. However, it is not a bull divergence for a macro reversal. It could just be a bull divergence for a potential flat correction, something like that, right? Like that, to just try to get back to the 1 hour 100 EMA. And I told you, whenever we dump like massively, right, wait for the retest of your, if you want to scalp, wait for the retest of your 21 EMA or the 100 EMA. So if we retest the 100 EMA, that could complete the low volatility range, low volatility sideways correction and all that good stuff, and we could be looking for a move to the downside. Okay, it doesn't have to, it can still do this. Okay, MACD just keep dumping. Okay, volume is low, okay, because the weekly time frame is closing below the weekly 100 EMA. So the trend, it is not a fake out. Okay, it is not a fake out yet. Okay, so low sell volume, low buy volume, price is pushing a little bit higher, so that's not a good sign. But if we get a short-term push to the upside, just keep an eye on the 1 hour 100 EMA. It could be dropping low over the next like a few days, especially if volume and volatility is low. It could basically just be in this range, right? Basically rejecting the price until the until we get a new weekly open. Okay, so I think like bears will try to close the price action below the weekly 100 EMA right there. Okay, if you recall what we said the last few hours of the monthly candle, I was telling you guys, keep an eye on BTC. It is likely to stay between 38 to 42 range. Okay, or even right here, right, 38 to I think 42. Okay, just to close the weekly, just to close the monthly. Okay, and bears took a cheap shot and closed it below the monthly 21. So basically what they did was like what bulls did right here. Yeah, so if you're not paying attention to the higher time frame, you might not know what I'm saying. But back in February, right, we closed the monthly cycle right above the quarterly 21, the last day of the month. So, and I was telling you myself, I was surprised, right? I was like, gosh, I don't know how bulls managed to push back up like 18%. Okay, the last day of the month. So that's what bears did right here, the last day of the month. Okay, they dumped the price below the monthly 21. So that was pretty significant. Okay, so pay attention to the monthly close, right? The monthly close, sometimes it matters, right? Most of the time it does matter. So you just have to pay attention to those little details, especially the last day, last 2 days, 3 days, and all that good stuff. Okay, if the volatility is not in your favor, we just suck it up, close all positions, right? If you're short-term trading, if you're a macro trader, you don't care, right? You don't care about a 2,000 point, 3,000 point, or whatever. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at Ether really quickly, because I'm gonna make it a short live stream today, right? So Ether, let's take a look at it in term of wave analysis, right? Because we've been talking about Ether in terms of moving averages and all that good stuff over the last few months. So Ether in terms of wave analysis, right? It does look very good, guys. Ether looks so bullish. So if you're looking for a move to the downside, you can see we definitely got a flat correction right here. So most of you guys hear me talking about like flat correction. So you know that's my favorite setup. Okay, whenever I see it, right, I just suck it up. Okay, I know I got 80 to 90% chance of winning that trade. Okay, so if you're in my premium, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We've been nailing like some macro dump, like 40-50% dump on this alt, even on Ethereum. Okay, we nailed our dump right here from like a 4,200 range all the way down to 2,200 range. That's a 40%. That's a 40% what? 40% dump. Okay, on Ether, right? So and after that, we even nailed it again from just about like a 3150 all the way down to 2,300 range. That was the February 24th Ukraine invasion. Okay, that's when we bottomed right there. Okay, so Ether, we've been spot on. Okay, the only time Ether got us in trouble was like when we were shorting around like a 2550 up to 2550, right? And I was looking for a move down, right, all the way down here, but it ended up pushing back up to 2850. We said, okay, it's time to get out. Just put a stop loss at 2866, because we know 2850 is a resistance. Okay, for Ether, we've been using that 2850, 3150 range over the last few months. Okay, even back here, that's what we used. Okay, so Ether, but going back to the flat correction right here, you got a double top, double bottom right here, expanded flat, broke the top right here, retested the bottom. So what can you expect, right? You got to expect your C wave. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so for the C wave, we're looking for a move all the way down to 1,700 range. Okay, could it break it? That's going to be a different topic. I'm not saying it cannot, or you know, it will get a support, or you know, or any sort of analysis after that, right? We will basically just take a look at it once we hit the box right here, just about like a 1,700 range. Okay, up to 1,900. Okay, so it is a clean flat correction. It is a clean directional move. No need to be fancy with it. You see it, you suck it up. That's it. No jumping and humping and all that good stuff, right? So so that's all I wanted to cover for Ether. In terms of indicators, right, our MACD, if you take a look at it right here on a weekly basis, you know, it is not looking good. You might be saying, hey Sam, it could be a bullish reversal. Yes, but go ahead and take a look at it on your 10D. Okay, you increase your time frame, right? If you take a look at it on your 10D, right, it is not looking good. Okay, you can see like it is clearly pointing down, and you might be like, okay, 10D, it is not a long, it is not a you know, a long you know, it is not a longer time frame. You say, okay, let's take a look at it on our 15 days. Okay, you take a look at the 15D, it is linear. Okay, you take a look at it on the 3 weeks, it is linear. Okay, so nothing is showing really, right, for you know, nothing is showing a reversal for Ether. You take a look at it on a monthly, bang. Okay, so on a monthly, if we take a look at it in terms of moving averages, right, you can see like we talked about the monthly 21 when Ether was at 4,100 range, retest of the monthly 21 in our premium. Okay, so we were ready for this move, 40%, 50% dump, right? So we could get a temporary support, right, at the monthly 21 EMA. Okay, we could get a temporary support at the monthly 21 EMA, and at the same time could still print a flat correction on a monthly basis. Remember, we just talked about the flat correction on your weekly. However, we could get one on the monthly. All right, so you're gonna be like, how can we get like, you know, two flat correction in the same range? But remember, what you see on the lower degree is not what you're gonna see on the higher time frame. For instance, if we take a look at Ether on the 12-month, right, you're not gonna see anything. You're not gonna see any flat correction or none of that good stuff, right? You're not gonna see anything, right? But if you take a look at it on the monthly, let's just do a 30 days. If you take a look at it on a monthly, you're going to see some waves, right? So all I'm trying to say is like the waves you're seeing on your lower degree, right, might not be what you're going to see on your higher time frame. You see what I'm saying? So Ether, we just have to be cautious. Even though the directional move is still to the downside, it can still create a macro flat correction like that, just to buy some time before the big capitulation down to the 1700 range. However, right, even though we got that possibility, none of these indicators are showing a potential move like that. I'm just showing you guys, so just in case, right, just in case, you know, market condition changes and we you know, we just having to retest the 34,000-3500 range. Okay, but if we go back to 2018, we did have the possibility of creating a flat, but we did not. Okay, so I wouldn't basically be sitting tight, relaxing, and waiting for Ether to pump back up to a 3600 range until we get at least, you know, a 3D reversal. Okay, unless we get a 3D reversal. But if we take a look at it on the 3D, we got a complete new directional trend after the crossover right here. Okay, so we don't know how long this guy is going to be dragging down. So the lower it dumps, right, the lower Ether going to dump, right? You see what I'm saying? But if it does something like that, right, let's say it does something like that and pushes to the upside right there, right, we could say, hey, Ether going to be most likely creating this flat correction, something like that, right? And we're going to be waiting for the next negative crossover on a 3D basis. Okay, because on the monthly, you're not going to see all of that good stuff. On the monthly, that's the only thing you're going to see. But on the 3D, you know, when you shift your time frame right lower and take a look at it on the 3D, you're going to be able to see the, you know, you're going to be able to see the crossover, right? For instance, right here, we were anticipating Ether to dump down to the monthly 21, right? Right there, that's when we started to say, okay, we can dump all the way down to the monthly 21. But back then, you know, we did not get any indication, right, of Ether dropping down, right, to the monthly 21, because we did not even get yet a monthly crossover. The monthly time frame did not cross over yet. Okay, back then, back in early December, you remember? Because let's do this. So you can see like right here, right, that's November, right? If I replay it, right, you can see like, let's do this, right? You can see the monthly time frame did not cross negative yet back then. Okay, and that was like back in you know, back in December, and that's when we said we're going to be dropping down to the monthly 21. But we did not get any sign like you know, we did not get any bearish sign on a monthly basis. Okay, only the 3D time frame was pointing down, and the only directional target we could have basically you know, pay attention to was the monthly 21 EMA. Okay, so so that's how we nail basically Ether, and we're still looking for a retest of the 1700 range over the next like a few weeks or even like a few months. And after that, okay, we will basically decide if we're going to capitulate or if we're going to the moon, right? But Ether on a macro view, if you're looking for you know, if you're looking for you know, some high prices over the next like a 3 to 5 years, you know, we're definitely going to get it. Okay, not financial advice, but you know, it is better to be bullish on the macro view than, you know, to be like bearish on the macro view. Okay, but you know, let's see if we're going to get our 17 to 1900 range. Omni Black says it works better. What works better? The 70 EMA? I mean, you do it 69 if you want. You can do the 69 EMA, the 61 EMA, whatever you want, okay? But I will check the 70 EMA. I just want to keep it constant, right? So that way I'm not going to be flip-flopping. I mean, how about going long from 26K? I mean, I don't know. I don't know, like if you're doing a 100x or a 125x, right? But if you spot buying, 26 is a great range to buy. It's kind of like when BTC was at, let's say after BTC dumped down to 4K, you'd be like, oh, I'm waiting for, no, let's say after BTC dumped down to 5K, and you'd be like, okay, I'm waiting for 4K. Let's say you did not get 4K, okay, and price action pumped back up to 10K, right, in like less than 2 months, right? So I do think like if we retest like the monthly 50, we're not going to be there like for a quarter, okay? It is likely to push back up, right back up, okay? Hey, what's up, Strengths? Doing some biceps with some 5-pound dumbbell. Strengths in the house. All right, guys, I'm gonna cut it short today, right? Keep it very short, so that way we basically can go back and review what we said, or watch our macro analysis, or any one of you guys can go back and basically rewatch the video, right, and all that good stuff, okay? So so make sure to join our public Telegram group, link in the description. If you're looking to join Send Premium, the Discord link in the description also, okay? So you can be so we can be ready for the macro reversal and all that good stuff, because alt will go crazy at some point. I don't think they will break out above all-time high, but they're going to give us some good gains after BTC retest the monthly 50 or the quarterly 21, kind of like what happened back in let's take a look at the total 2, so you guys know what I'm talking about, right? But let's take a look at it on total 2, the total 2 right here, okay? So alt could basically give us a nice bump after BTC retest like the monthly 50, right? You can see like what happened to alt, okay? They pump till August, right, and they dump, okay? So most of them dump like 50%, okay? But you can see it on the total too, because they were low cap alt, okay? So they're not going to affect the directional move for the for the total 2, okay? So that's possible, right, where alt going to pump after BTC retest like the monthly 50 or quarterly 21, and then after that they could basically retrace down like 50% or 80%, some of them, okay? And after BTC breaks all-time high, they're going to be pushing to the upside. And you see what happened right here. That's when BTC broke above all-time high. That's why I'm saying if you buy BTC at the monthly 21, you can wait till BTC breaks above all-time high to basically start like even buying more alt, stuff like that, right? Because you can see what happened right here, okay? 165 billion, that's when we started to breakout, okay? And that was like back in November, like mid-November, exactly when it, exactly after BTC broke out above all-time high, okay? So but the alt dominance looking like they're going to be it is going to drop lower down to the 740 billion over the next like a few months, okay? Not looking so great as of now. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching, man. Thanks a lot for hitting the likes, spanking the likes, right? Smashing the like, slapping the likes, whatever you want to call it. All right, guys, thanks a lot.